I bought an old camera, with film already inside. The photos showed things I never saw. Then I found one I never took. And something was standing right behind me. If you had seen the photos first, you would have thrown the camera away. I didn't. That's the difference between you and me. The listing looked harmless enough. Old film camera. Works. Slight cosmetic wear. No brand name I recognized, just a few blurry pictures taken under yellow light. I bought it without thinking much. Just another addition to a shelf already crowded with things I didn't need. When it arrived, the box smelled faintly like dust and something metallic, like coins left too long in a damp pocket. The camera itself was heavier than I expected. Solid. Cold. It had that satisfying mechanical resistance when I turned the dials, like it still remembered how it was supposed to work. There was already a roll of film inside. I almost took it out. I remember pausing, thumb resting on the rewind knob, thinking it was probably ruined anyway. But curiosity won. I decided to finish the roll instead. That was mistake number one. The first photos I took were ordinary. My kitchen counter. The street outside my apartment. A stray cat that sometimes sits near the stairwell. Nothing unusual, nothing worth remembering. When the roll was finished, I dropped it off at a small photo lab a few blocks away. The kind of place that still smells like chemicals and nostalgia. The guy behind the counter didn't say much. Just told me to come back the next day. I slept fine that night. That was the last normal night I remember. When I picked up the photos, I didn't look at them right away. I tucked the envelope under my arm and walked home, stopping for coffee, scrolling my phone, doing all the small, pointless things people do when they think they have time. I didn't open the envelope until I was sitting at my kitchen table. The first few photos were exactly what I expected. The counter. The street. The cat. But something felt off. It took me a moment to understand why. In the photo of the street, there was someone standing across the road. I don't remember anyone being there. It wasn't just that I didn't notice them. The angle didn't make sense. The figure stood too close to the frame, slightly blurred, as if it had moved just as I pressed the shutter. But I would have seen that. I always check before taking a shot. I turned to the next photo. My kitchen counter again. Except this time, there was a hand resting on it. Not mine. Long fingers. Pale. Slightly out of focus, like it didn't belong to the same moment as everything else. I remember laughing. Actually laughing. I told myself it was double exposure. Old film. Light leaks. Something technical I didn't fully understand but could easily blame. That was mistake number 2. Because the last photo in the stack, the last one wasn't mine. I never took it. It showed my bedroom. From inside. And I was asleep in the bed. I didn't sleep the next night. Or the one after that. I kept the photo on the table, face down at first, like that would somehow make it less real. But I always turned it back over eventually, as if confirming it hadn't changed would make me feel better. It didn't. The angle bothered me the most. The photo wasn't taken from the doorway. It wasn't taken from the window. It was taken from the corner of the room, near the ceiling, somewhere a person couldn't stand. I checked the apartment anyway. Closets. Under the bed. Behind the shower curtain. I even knocked on the walls, listening for hollow spaces like I'd seen in movies. Nothing. I told myself it had to be the previous owner. Maybe the camera still had an old exposure left on the roll. That explanation held together just enough to let me function. Until I bought another roll of film. I loaded it carefully this time. Made sure everything was aligned. No chance of leftover frames. No excuses. I took fewer photos. Deliberate ones. My living room. My front door. The hallway outside my apartment. I avoided the bedroom. When the roll was done, I didn't wait a day. I paid extra to have it developed the same afternoon. The guy at the lab gave me a strange look when he handed me the envelope. I almost asked him what was wrong, but I didn't want to hear the answer. I opened it right there on the sidewalk. The first photo was of my front door. Closed. Locked. Exactly as I left it. The second photo, it showed the same door. Open. Just a crack. I felt something shift in my chest then. Not panic. Not yet. Just a quiet, sinking certainty that something was very, very wrong. I flipped to the next photo. The hallway outside my apartment. Empty. And then the next one. The same hallway. But this time, someone was standing at the far end. Closer than before. Closer than in any of the previous photos. The figure was clearer now. Tall. Thin. Head slightly tilted, as if it was trying to understand something. As if it was trying to understand me. My hands were shaking by the time I reached the last photo. I didn't want to look at it. I knew what it would show. Still, I turned it over. It was my bedroom again. Same angle. Same impossible corner near the ceiling. But I wasn't asleep this time. I was standing in the doorway, holding the envelope of photos. Looking directly at the camera. And behind me, closer than anything else in the frame, was the figure. Clear enough now that I could see its face. Or where its face should have been. I dropped the photos right there on the street. I didn't go back to my apartment that night. Or ever again. You're probably wondering what happened to the camera. I still have it. I keep it in a locked drawer I never open. But sometimes, late at night, I hear it. That slow, mechanical click. Like a shutter closing. Like something taking a picture. And I've stopped wondering where it's pointing.